Welcome back, friends. You are listening to the Juicebox Podcast.
Hi, I'm Ruby Valentino. I'm from South Wales. I'm an actor and a singer, and I've had type 1 diabetes for 4 years.
Nothing you hear on the Juicebox Podcast should be considered advice, medical or otherwise. Always consult a physician before making any changes to your healthcare plan. AG1 is offering my listeners a free $76 gift when you sign up. You'll get a welcome kit, a bottle of D3K2, and 5 free travel packs in your first box. So make sure you check out drinkag1.com/juicebox to get this offer. Don't forget to save 40% off of your entire order at CozyEarth.com. All you have to do is use the offer code JUICEBOX at checkout. That's JUICEBOX at checkout to save 40% at CozyEarth.com. Are you an adult living with type 1 or the caregiver of someone who is? If you are, I'd love it if you would go to t1dexchange.org/juicebox and take the survey. So if you'd like to help with type 1 research, but don't have time to go to a doctor or an investigation, and you want to do something right there from your sofa, this is the way. t1dexchange.org/juicebox. It should not take you more than about 10 minutes. This episode of the Juicebox Podcast is sponsored by the Twiist AID System powered by Tidepool that features the Twiist Loop algorithm, which you can target to a glucose level as low as 87. Learn more at twiist.com/juicebox. That's Twiist with 2 eyes.com/juicebox. Get precision insulin delivery with a target range that you choose at twiist.com/juicebox. That's TWIIST.com/juicebox. Today's episode of the Juicebox Podcast is sponsored by the Contour NextGen blood glucose meter. This is the meter that my daughter has on her person right now. It is incredibly accurate and waiting for you at contournext.com/juicebox. The episode you're listening to is sponsored by US Med. usmed.com/juicebox or call 888-721-1514. You can get your diabetes testing supplies the same way we do from US Med.
Hi, I'm Ruby Valentino. I'm from South Wales. I'm an actor and a singer, and I've had type 1 diabetes for 4 years.
4 years. How old were you when you were diagnosed?
Let me do that again. It's not been 4 years.
Wait, what? It hasn't been 4 years? Oh, no.
14 years.
Oh, because Ruby, that's totally staying in, just so you know. So how old were you when you were diagnosed?
Nerves. I was 13.
So you're 27?
Yeah. No, I'm 28, but it was like a couple of weeks before my 14th birthday.
Oh, I see. Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
All right. So 13, 14 years old. You've had it half your life.
Yeah.
Has been diabetes and half it hasn't been.
It's weird thinking of it like that.
Have you thought of it like that in the past?
No, now I have. I've seen other people say, I've had it for half my life. And I've been like, wow, that's a long time. And now I'm at that stage where I've just realized that. Strange.
Oh, no kidding. How did you learn of diabetes? Like, did you get very sick? Did somebody in your family sniff it out or what happened?
Yeah, my mum. So I lost a lot of weight and kids in school were kind of bullying me, saying I had a ED and saying that I looked very skinny. But I was eating so much, I was healthy. So my mum was like, oh, there's something wrong with her. So she spoke to somebody in her class, because she's a potter, and they said, that sounds like type 1 diabetes. Is she going to toilet a lot? And my mum was like, yes. So she got a home testing kit from Boots, which is a pharmacy in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
She spent a bit of money on it. It was expensive. And it came back saying, hi, HI. So she called 111 and they were like, get her in immediately. It was a quick turnaround and I got diagnosed with type 1 diabetes pretty much on the spot.
That quick. So your mom chatted with some people. Somebody said it sounded like diabetes. Test kit, you're diagnosed. Is there any type 1 in your extended family?
No. My nan and granddad had type 2 as they got older, but no type 1s. What about your family? Because I know your daughter's got it, right?
She does. So my daughter has type 1. She was diagnosed when she was 2. She's 20 now. Right. I'm adopted. So I'm, as far as I know, on my side. On my wife's side, there's a lot of autoimmune stuff like sprinkled around people, like celiac or Crohn's. there's some anxiety, there's some depression with people. There's a person farther out that might have bipolar. Like there's stuff like that that's like autoimmune or autoimmune adjacent. My wife has hypothyroidism. Both of my kids do as well. Interestingly enough, like some of the problems people have with PCOS, like that kind of stuff, that seems to travel through some of the women on my wife's side too.
Yeah, it can be interlinked, right? Sometimes celiacs have type 1 and things like that. So there could be something there.
No, I think so. I talk to a lot of people, Ruby, and I ask everybody the same question about their extended family. And often they find, sometimes people say, oh no, there's nothing. And then you'll chat with them for a while and they'll say, oh, my uncle has vitiligo, for example. And I'll be like, well, that's an autoimmune issue. And they go, oh. And then as they start to really like think about it, they find more and more.
Yeah, no, nothing. I had chickenpox when I was young. My mum thinks that could be something, but we've all had chicken.
Did you have it right before your diagnosis?
No, I was like 2, normal age.
Oh.
But I think I had it quite bad. I don't know. There are other means that people think you can get it from too, like you can get it from trauma, apparently. Don't take my word for that. I heard that.
No, I've heard people talk about that too, like a giant shock to the system kind of throws your immune system into overdrive. Yeah. Listen, you're never going to really know. I have a question though, before we move on. Did you say your mom was a booter? And what the hell does that mean?
A pottery.
Oh, a potter.
A booter? What's that?
Why did I hear booter? No, potter. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Language barrier. Accent barrier.
So we're going to get over it. She like does that professionally or she just does that like as a hobby?
She's a ceramic artist. So she makes her own things and sells them. And then she teaches as well on the side.
Oh, that's awesome. Very cool.
Yeah.
All right. So you're diagnosed. They take you to, do you guys say to hospital? I don't say the in front of hospital, right?
Some Northerners do, I think. But the hospital, I say.
You do say the hospital. You don't say hospital. Look at you. You and I are going to get along much better. What's it like being diagnosed? Do you begin to take over like your management? Do you do it with your parents, your mom? How does that work?
When I was first diagnosed?
Yeah.
My mum went a bit mad and tried for ages to cure me. The most loving way possible. We were trying cinnamon. I tried Reiki at one point. Obviously, she was making sure I was doing my insulin and doing it properly. But in the meantime, she was trying to find a cure and reading things online. But obviously, there is no cure for type 1.
Wait,
so we went down a rabbit hole.
Hold on a second. Like, she actually said, like, we're going to go to a Reiki healer?
Yeah. And you know what? My blood was amazing. It dropped.
Well, you're nice and relaxed.
I woke up and I was hypo.
Probably you got super relaxed, don't you think?
Yeah, there's something good there. I mean, but I don't think it cures type 1, but it was definitely good for my levels.
That's awesome. Is your mom what we would call a hippie?
She was a punk back in the day. I guess she's very artistic, so maybe.
I unfairly know that your father was in a band. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm imagining your parents correctly then. Is that what you're saying?
Probably, yeah. Okay. We're quite out there.
Do you have other brothers and sisters?
Yeah, I've got a sister. She lives in Sydney and she's getting married next year, which is exciting.
Congratulations.
Yeah, really excited.
Are you going?
Yeah. Well, you know what? It's in the bush. Have you ever seen I'm a Celeb, Get Me Out of Here?
Yeah.
So I'm terrified because I'm a city girl. And I'm obviously going to go and love it, but we have to camp for like 3 days. So I'm going to be terrified because I hate insects and I hate bugs and I'm not looking forward to the insect side of it.
Which one of your irrational fears has the hold of you? Do you think there's going to be a snake in the toilet or a spider or what is it you're worried about? You've probably heard me talk about US Med and how simple it is to reorder with US Med using their email system. But did you know that if you don't see the email and you're set up for this, you have to set it up. They don't just randomly call you, but I'm set up to be called if I don't respond to the email because I don't trust myself 100%. So one time I didn't respond to the email and the phone rings at the house. It's like, ring, you know how it works. And I picked it up. I was like, hello. And it was just a recording. It was like, US Med. Doesn't actually sound like that, but you know what I'm saying. It said, hey, I don't remember exactly what it says, but it's basically like, hey, your order's ready. You want us to send it? Push this button if you want us to send it. Or if you'd like to wait, I think it lets you put it off like a couple of weeks or push this button for that. That's pretty much it. I pushed the button to send it. And a few days later, box right at my door. That's it. usmed.com/juicebox or call 888-721-1514. Get your free benefits check now and get started with US Med. Dexcom, Omnipod, Tandem, Freestyle, they've got all your favorites. Even that new eyelet pump. Check them out now at usmed.com/juicebox or by calling 888-721-1514. There are links in the show notes of your podcast player and links at juiceboxpodcast.com to US Med and to all of the sponsors. The Contour NextGen blood glucose meter is sponsoring this episode of the Juicebox Podcast, and it's entirely possible that it is less expensive in cash than you're paying right now for your meter through your insurance company. That's right. If you go to my link, contournext.com/juicebox, you're going to find links to Walmart, Amazon, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Kroger, and Meijer. You could be paying more right now through your insurance for your test strips and meter than you would pay through my link for the Contour NextGen and Contour Next test strips in cash. What am I saying? My link may be cheaper out of your pocket than you're paying right now, even with your insurance. And I don't know what meter you have right now. I can't say that. But what I can say for sure is that the Contour NextGen meter is accurate. It is reliable, and it is the meter that we've been using for years. contournext.com/juicebox. And if you already have a Contour meter and you're buying test strips, doing so through the Juicebox Podcast link will help to support the show. The brand new Twiist insulin pump offers peace of mind with unmatched personalization and allows you to target a glucose level as low as 87. There are more reasons why you might be interested in checking out Twiist, but just in case that one got you, twiist.com/juicebox. That's Twiist with 2 eyes.com/juicebox. You can target glucose levels between 87 and 180. It's completely up to you. In addition to precision insulin delivery that's made possible by Twiist's design, Twiist also offers you the ability to edit your carb entries even after you've bolused. This gives the Twiist Loop algorithm the best information to make its decisions with. And the Twiist Loop algorithm lives on the pump, so you don't have to stay next to your phone for it to do its job. Twiist is coming very soon. So if you'd like to learn more or get on the wait list, go to twiist.com/juicebox. That's Twiist with 2 eyes.com/juicebox. Links in the show notes, links at juiceboxpodcast.com.
Rats. I hate rats.
Rats is your concern.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I love animals, and I think every animal has the right to live. And, I try and be as meat free as I can, but I just don't want to see a rat.
Hey, listen, I'm with you. I interview a lot of people from all around the world, and I'm constantly asking people in Australia, I'm like, there's snakes and spiders, and some people act like, oh, no. But then once in a while, you'll get them to tell a story of like, no kidding, like the time they sat down on the toilet and there was a snake in the toilet or something. Yeah. I'm telling you, look in the toilet before you use it in Sydney.
Oh, all right. We haven't got anything like that here, hopefully. I mean, I don't know. I've seen a TikTok video of a rat coming out of the toilet in New York, and I was like, okay, I'm never going.
Our rats over here on the East Coast are pretty stout, I would say.
Oh.
All right. So you have a sister. She doesn't have type 1 or anything else, right?
No.
Okay. What's your management like when you first start out? Do they give you just like needles and vials? Do you get pens? How does it work?
I was on Nova Rapid pens, and I did that for 13 years with a blood kit, the old-fashioned blood kit. Mm-hmm. And then I didn't switch to a CGM until 2017, which was the Libra.
Yep.
And it was good, but I was very self-conscious of the Libra at first because I wanted to hide my type 1. And, I'm not speaking for you, but probably your daughter did too, right? Because I feel like a lot of young girls are a bit self-conscious of it.
She was so young, Ruby. I don't think
So she didn't know any better.
She doesn't think about diabetes that way. Yeah.
Amazing. That's good.
Yeah.
I get so many people on my content, on my videos saying, oh, I'm embarrassed. I take it off and I pretend I don't have it. And I think now I don't think like that at all. I think maybe because I was diagnosed as a teenager when I started to go out, that's why I was trying to hide it, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I was embarrassed to wear the Libra at first. And nowadays you get all sorts of influencers choosing to wear them. Mm. It's cool.
Yeah. Does that even help you as an adult? Does it make you feel more comfortable when you see other people doing it?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I love wearing it now. I'm really proud to be a type 1 diabetic because it makes you and it makes you unique. And gives you a sort of strength, an image of strength.
What do you do professionally? Tell people.
I'm an actor. I do a lot of voiceover acting. I did Macbeth last year on tour, which was fun, across the UK, and just done a radio play.
I keep thinking I want somebody to come get me for voiceover. I don't know why they won't. I have a lovely speaking voice.
You do?
Yeah, and it's not, never does someone come. Like one time I got teased. I'm not calling the guy out, but I had the creator of a like a Netflix cartoon on last year, and his daughter has type 1. His daughter, by the way, it's the weirdest story. My daughter's name is kind of different. It's Arden.
Oh.
And there's not a lot of Ardens, and there's not a lot of people in the world with type 1 diabetes. And this guy who I really did enjoy, his daughter's name is Arden, and she has type 1. It was crazy.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. But anyway, he's like, I'm going to come get you for season 2. And then he didn't call. I just want to say, it's okay.
What about me?
Yeah. Oh, trust me, Ruby, if he would have known about you, you'd be in the Fairy Show. For sure you would be. As a matter of fact, I probably just got you a job in season 3 of Fairies, but not me is what I was saying.
One day.
He did hire a number of type 1 actors.
Oh, I love that. Well, they've got that type 1 diabetic film coming out, right?
Yeah. Kelly, what's Kelly's last name? Damn. You know?
I don't.
It's okay. She's a type 1, and I think she wrote it and is directing it.
Kelly Bacon.
You got it.
Is that right?
Damn it, Kelly. Hold on a second. I'm sorry. I know she listens, and now I feel bad. How does diabetes intersect with working is what I was wondering.
This is what I'm a little bit stressed about with my pump. So when I did my first film 2-3 years ago, actually, sorry, let me backtrack. When I did a film 10 years ago, say when I was a child actress, it didn't affect it. Obviously, I had to check in between takes and things like that because I was on insulin pens. 3 years ago when I did a new film, I was on the Libra. So they were very, very supportive. And I said, oh, my Libra's on show. Is that okay? And they were like, yeah, why not? Why wouldn't she have type 1 diabetes? And they were amazing in costume.
Nice.
But now I'm on the insulin pump. I'm not filming anything as of yet in the pipeline, but I'm slightly stressed because I'm like, is that going to interfere with wires and things like that? So I'm hoping it. I mean, there are loads of actors with type 1 with insulin pumps, so I'm hoping it doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine they could hide it if they wanted to. I would think you'd be more worried about alarms than anything else.
Oh yeah, I turned those off.
Yeah. By the way, Kelly's last name is Bascom. I think we both had a little bit of it. It's BASCOM.
I was thinking of Kevin Bacon.
It's awesome. If we had time, we could see how many degrees of Kevin Bacon Kelly is from Kevin Bacon. But her film, it's a feature film. She's the writer and actor in it. It's called Quarter.
Amazing.
I don't know when it's coming out, but I hope she comes on to talk about it when it does.
Yes.
Yeah.
I literally can't wait for that. I'm so grateful that they're making it and they've made it and it sounds amazing. And they've got type 1 diabetic actors in it, obviously Kelly and Brooke Shields' daughter.
Oh, is she in it as well? That's awesome.
Yeah, she's a type 1.
Yes, she is. Who else? Who's the models? There's a model.
Kate Moss.
Kate Moss, her daughter. Yeah, right. There's a lot out there. Even now, when you go online and go clothes shopping, and there's models. There's a lot of models wearing diabetes devices now.
I've not seen that here yet.
No.
We have stoma bags and things that are represented on telly and modeling shoots, which is so amazing. But I've not seen any type 1 diabetic representation in our media yet in the UK, except for advertising Libra, obviously.
Yeah, right. How about dating with type 1? What is that like?
I've got a partner now, but before I just hid it. I'll be honest. It was awful. And I did a video quite recently on TikTok. Reason number 942 to tell people that you're on a date with that you've got type 1. I went on a date and I didn't tell him and I was injecting under the table and he saw it and he was like, what's that? And I was like, it's a pen. And then my blood went super low and I didn't tell him. So I was just scoffing a bag of Haribo's after a 3-course meal. And he was like, are you hungry still? And I was like, yeah.
He's like, I don't think I'm going to be able to afford this, girl.
I know. So I would definitely recommend telling people. When I first got with my partner, he cracked a diabetes joke. When I told him, I went, oh yeah, I've got type 1 diabetes. And he said something like diabetes, you know, that American meme of that man. And I was like, it's actually really serious. And I scared him then.
He hung around while you pressured him.
Lecturing him.
He did a Wilford Brimley impression.
Is that who that guy is?
Yes, yeah. It's awesome that you know of him, but not who he is.
No, I've just seen his face. Diabetes.
Diabetes.
Didn't get it.
It's actually like kind of a Southern thing in America. So it's, I've had a doctor on this year who was just brilliant with his understanding of like GLP medications, for example. And I had him on to talk about it. But when he's an older gentleman, he's from Texas, and he says diabetes. He just, that's how he says it.
I love that accent so much. It sounds so nice. It makes me want to buy something. I'm like, are you selling me diabetes?
I'll take 3, please. And
I'll take 3. Such a nice accent.
So dating with it, can I dig a little deeper there?
Yeah.
Did that cause trouble with you trying to form bonds with people because you were always hiding something?
Not really. I did eventually tell them if we became an item, but never told them on dates and things like that. But I do think it's important, especially if you're going out drinking and things like that. If anything bad happens, they need to know.
Yeah. What's your plan when you drink? How do you handle it?
I'm going out tonight, actually. So I'm glad that this isn't a filmed one because I have my hair in rollers.
Me too. I'm just kidding.
So we're going to go out, and I just make sure I eat when I come back. Just check your levels. I'd rather be a little bit higher going to bed. Not high, but around 10, which for you is, what's that, 200?
Is liquor easier than beer? Or are there easier ways to handle things?
I like wine because wine doesn't have many carbs in. Mm-hmm. But I didn't even think about this until quite recently. But when you have beer or, like Recorder-Lake, do you have that there? It's like fruity ciders and things like that.
Yeah, but I don't. Yeah. What did you call it?
Recorder-Lake.
I definitely don't know that word, but go ahead.
They're really nice, but they're full of sugar. And for years, I used to drink that and be like, why is my blood high? And that's why. So obviously, you can drink what you like and eat what you like as long as you dose for it. But it's just easier for me to have a little bit of wine.
Yeah. Do you have any other autoimmune issues?
No.
I wasn't sure if you were going to say not yet.
No, don't say that. Touch wood.
Do they test your thyroid levels there yearly and things like that?
No. I mean, I think my mum's got a thyroid. Or she did have a thyroid issue. I'm not sure. Overactive, I think she said.
No, so your mom might have an autoimmune issue.
Maybe.
See how it works, Ruby? We talk for a while, and then the next thing you know, you're like, my uncle has type 1 diabetes. I forgot.
I mean, I don't think I have. I should probably get tested. I mean, I'm allergic to oysters, and I have a lot of allergies.
I think of allergies as your immune system being overactive. You know what I mean?
Is that?
Yeah. I mean, nobody's going to call an allergy autoimmune, but I mean, it's your immune system being overactive and coming after your body. I don't, sounds like your immune system not doing what it should be doing.
No.
It's awesome that I asked you earlier if anybody in your extended family had it. And then
I said no.
And I explained to you that people often will say no and then be...
I did exactly that.
And that you still told me the truth 15 minutes later. I thought that was really nice because that would have been a perfect time to lie, by the way.
I mean, my mum has anemia. She's anemic as well. I don't know if that's one as well. Is that an autoimmune?
Well, it's not autoimmune, but it runs pretty heavily through this community.
Right.
Yeah, a lot of anemia. Do you have any trouble like digesting food?
Bread, yeah.
Do you think you have celiac or no?
I've been wheat-free I'm wheat-free a lot. Sometimes I'm not, but I'm careful because I just have trouble digesting it. I don't think I'm allergic.
Interesting. I ask because it's another thing that your pancreas is involved in that sometimes goes kind of kaplooey for people with type 1 is just digestion. So a lot of people find themselves taking like a little digestive enzyme with some like more difficult foods, and it seems to help them. I feel like we could pick around and I could find out a lot about you that you don't know.
Yeah.
How did you end up here? Did I reach out to you? Did you reach out to me?
I reached out to you a year ago. I've been waiting every day.
I got right on it, Ruby. I got right on it. Here's the good news, though, and let me be like incredibly frank. You have a really nice following on TikTok, so I'm going to put your episode out really quick.
Oh, thanks. I had to message you recently because I was like, what is the date we have? Because I cannot remember for the life.
Yeah, because you were afraid they might cure diabetes before we got to do the podcast.
Yeah, and then there's no point.
Usually people are 6 months out to record and then 6 months out to get their episode up. It usually takes a year from the email, but I am putting yours up in a couple of weeks. You reached out because why? Forget me for a second in the podcast. Like when you're interacting with people through social media with type 1 diabetes, like what is that like for you? Like, what do you get out of it? What do you think they get out of it?
That's a good question. I think like we have very different views. You're so far away from each other in the world. Yet we agree on so much and we relate so much, especially me with your daughter as well. So we have so many similarities, but also we probably have dissimilarities. We might disagree on some things. But I reached out to you because I thought you were the best diabetic podcast I could find. And I thought you were great.
Well, thank you. You just wanted to come out and say, hey?
I just wanted to join, yeah.
That's awesome. No, thank you. I wondered, like, because you talked about, like, having interactions with people online about diabetes, and I get what they get from you. You're a public figure, and Ruby, I might be 3 times your age, so just take this with where I mean it from, please. But, like, you're a very attractive girl, right? Like, do you think that people look at you and think role model? Do you think they think, I'd like to, like, look at her, she looks like she's killing it? Like, are you killing it? Like, you know what I mean?
Oh, God. I wanted to make content a year ago. And I thought, what am I going to do it on? It was over a year ago. I thought, why don't I try diabetes? I never speak about it. So I started doing it, and I just started doing relatable things. And then I grew a following, and I was like, okay, there's loads of us out there. This is amazing. Mainly, I get a lot from other people. I've never felt less alone in my life with type 1 diabetes. My health's the best it's ever been. I reversed diabetic retinopathy because I started to look after my health more and my eyes.
Awesome.
My HbA1c went to the best it's ever been. I've made so many friends, so many opportunities. This year alone, I went to Madrid and Florence because of diabetes. And I've got so much from it in return. And I think doing something good, like I'm a very positive person on TikTok, and I don't want to talk about the negatives. Obviously, there's so many, diabetes is rubbish. There are so many, ups we can get from it too. Like, you can go on your phone in class. You can eat sweets when you can bring in food to concerts when other people can't. You got to look at the positives. I just did a video quite recently, and I think type 1 diabetics are some of the most empathetic, strong people in the world. They go through so much on a daily basis, and I love that we're so supportive in the community.
Yeah. So even though you've had type 1 for 14 years, like this experience of going out online and meeting other people, it's been kind of transformative for you. And by the way, I would say not dissimilar to what other people find. Like, I think a lot of people use the podcast for community. I have a private Facebook group that has, I think, like 57,000 people in it now. You can see that, I can see that community and support is maybe more important even than learning how to manage their insulin better. But that when you're connected to diabetes and other people with type 1 so frequently, I think the outcome you had where your A1C got better, I'm sure your time in range got better and everything else.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Those things come from being aware. Do you know what I mean? And having the community keeps you aware in a way that doesn't make you feel like you're just staring at your meter. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Absolutely, because in my everyday life, there are no diabetics in my day-to-day life that I see and know. Sure. So online, that's why social media is so great in so many ways. Obviously, there are negatives to it, but it's so great if you use it right.
No, I'm old, Ruby. Like, I'm not lying. I'm 53. And so somebody said to me recently, like, you're an influencer. And I was like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Law of the land, letter of the word, like you are. And I was like, I don't see it that way. I'm like, I just talk about diabetes with people and I put their conversations out in the world. And then the person's like, well, yeah. And then those people write to you and say that they did better or that they found community or that they're happier. Like, you influenced that in their lives. I don't like the word because of the connotation it has when it started for me, but I don't know that it's the same connotation today. And like, it's interesting that to me that you were just like, I'm going to do what, people put content out in the world. I'm going to do that. But like, what am I going to do? And then you found a world that I've known about. My daughter's had diabetes for 18 years. I've been writing a blog for 17 years, like about type 1. And you just were like, oh, there's this whole thing out here I didn't know about.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Because I never searched it on TikTok, and I was on TikTok for years and I loved it.
Yeah, isn't that great? And then just all of a sudden you're just like, oh, I'll look into this and look at all it brought to you. Now, do you think you're bringing that to the people who are following you?
Hopefully, yeah.
I think you probably are. I would guess that from my experience that's what happens, is that now suddenly somebody through you can find that same feeling of community and be more connected to their diabetes and hopefully have better outcomes in the long run as well.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Absolutely. And if I hadn't have searched it, I wouldn't have come across, my online diabetic friends like Ryan, who you interviewed on here. Ryan Taylor. You
can understand Ryan when he's talking? like you're laughing. You're sometimes. Okay, I see. Because like, what's the movie where the guy from The Walking Dead tells the girl he loves her with the cards?
Love Actually.
Yes. Talking to you is just Love Actually. I can follow you, no problem. Ryan, I had both my hands on the desk and I was staring at a spot on the desk, just listening to every sound so that I could keep up with him. And it might have taken me like 15 minutes speaking with him before I was like, I hear him now. Like, I know.
Yeah, he's got a stronger accent than me.
Yeah, well, that's one way to say it, I guess. Mostly people who come on here from the UK end up sounding like Adele. And then they take that as like an insult if you tell them. Why is that?
I don't know. She's from London, right?
I don't know. Ruby, you live there.
I don't talk like that, though, no.
Yeah, oh, so there's more of that. Oh, I see. You can do it if you need to. I gotcha.
What do you think I sound like? Do you think I sound like Adele?
No, you sound like that little skinny girl from the pirate movie.
Keira Knightley.
Yes.
I've been told that. I'm from Wales, so I should be really Welsh like that, but I lost my accent because I went to drama school. Oh
my gosh, that was awesome.
Yeah.
You turned into a leprechaun from a bad cartoon all of a sudden.
Oh, I miss my accent. And when I go back, they're all like, oh, you sound English.
That's crazy. So where were you born?
Wales. I'm born and bred, and I should be Welsh, and I have still got the accent, but it's been melted a little bit because I've lived in England for so long.
I have to tell you, if that's your lineage, I think if you dig around in your background a little more, you're going to find a lot more autoimmune stuff.
What are you trying to say?
I'm serious. If you don't find at least like Crohn's or colitis, I'd be stunned.
I don't think there's anything like that. What's colitis?
Like your belly gets upset after you eat and stuff like that.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and it comes out not pleasantly. You understand? I can't wait for you to like go home for like Christmas and start asking people like, hey, does anybody have anything going on? Because people like, look, you tried to hide it a little bit. Like people hide things.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Listen, what should we actually be talking about instead of this bullshit that I'm like digging around in your life? What did you want to talk about when you came on?
Just everything.
Yeah. You're all right with
I'm
this?
Pretty chill.
This vibe?
Yeah.
You're good? Okay. So you mentioned in your notes a little bit about stigma. Like, what have you interacted with?
Daily, I get comments saying, just reverse it.
Really?
Daily.
And that's from your mom.
Try some cinnamon. And I'm like, one, how thick do you think I am? If it was just cinnamon or, eating less sweets, I think I would have just done it by now. It would have been a hell of a lot easier.
So you interact with a lot of people every day who think that you have made a lifestyle choice or aren't doing something that caused you to have diabetes.
I get so many trolls. I get so many amazing, lovely people. And you can have 100 nice comments. But when you get one horrible comment, it sticks with you. And I get so many. I don't know why people are so upset when you talk about type 1 diabetes online. And if you look at the top performing videos on Instagram and TikTok about type 1, comments are vile. Yeah. The top comments are vile. I don't know what on earth's going on.
If you want, when we're done, I can read you some of the worst reviews I've ever gotten.
Yeah.
Listen, Ruby, between me and you can't let them stick to you. It just
I know.
First of all, you shouldn't read them.
Yeah.
You should do a thing that they call post and ghost. But it's difficult to do. There's different kinds of famous people. There are people who are not really famous, but they have a relationship with the people who follow them. And you have to go back and forth. Like that's part of the agreement, really. You know what I mean? And so you can't do that. But when you read and you're like, oh God, that's horrifying. I mean, I know how you feel. Like my best example is that in, I think 2013, I wrote a book and it went out for professional review. And like the first 7 professional reviews that came back were really good. And because of that, I was like rolling. I was like, this is it. I'm a genius. Everyone loves it. Like, you know what I mean? Like then a bad review came. The way I joke about it is like, he didn't just dislike me. He hated people who loved me. He hated letters for existing so that I could turn them into words. Like, you know what I mean? Like he really didn't like that book. And I have to admit, like it rolled me up.
Yeah.
Like for a week, I was like, whoa, why does this person hate me so much? But I've learned to get past that. And so I don't feel that way anymore. And there's still people who listen to the podcast and are like, I'll tell you my top ones, right?
Yeah, go on.
There's a very small sliver of a group of people who eat a certain way and they hate my guts.
Vegans.
Well, no, they're more like low carb, like very low carb people.
Oh, right. Keto.
Yes. By the way, I also have interacted with a ton of people who eat that way who are lovely. But just like the rest of the world, like there's a side of that side. And I am the devil to them. I push insulin on people and, I don't care about people's health. And I say things that they're like, you can eat whatever you want. And like, of course, I don't think you could eat whatever you want. I think that, if you want to be healthy, there's healthy ways to eat. But what I also think is that if you're not aware of that, if you're not a person who understands like the nutrition that they're taking in and you have type 1 diabetes, you shouldn't get poor nutrition and bad blood sugars. Like you should at least understand how your insulin works so you can manage your blood sugars. And then hopefully, along your life, you'll figure out how to eat in a healthier way. But I don't feel like that's a thing I can make somebody do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those people definitely don't like me.
I did keto for about a month and my blood was amazing, but I found it very hard to keep up, especially when I was a teenager.
Did you get angry with me like 3 weeks into it?
Yeah, that was me. Sorry.
Ruby's like, listen, you idiot. I got one last night. It was horrifying from a low carb person. But what I did was I blocked them.
Oh, no.
I was just like, you don't exist anymore. And then they can go hate me somewhere else. That's fine.
Were they type 2 or type 1?
1.
Right. Because I went to a Daphne course, which is basically diabetic health. And the nurses told me that it's really bad for type 1s to be keto. And I always thought it was the opposite. I always thought that it was great for type 1s to be keto because I know an Olympian that is keto and she's had like amazing levels her whole life. Yeah.
I don't think that. I guess low carb people would be stunned to hear me say this, but I believe the thing that they throw around in your face online, which is, the fewer carbs you eat, the less insulin you're going to use. The less insulin you use, the lower chance you have of having too much insulin on board.
That's where the nurses are saying that's really bad for you because they're saying that could lead to ketoacidosis. I don't know if this is true. This isn't my words. This is what the nurse said because you don't get ketones from high blood. You get ketones from the lack of insulin.
So I would tell you that's 100% true. If you don't have enough insulin, you're going to get ketones. But I think there can also be confusion between the ketones that come from like starvation, which are not the same as not having insulin. And a lot of people, well, not a lot of people, but many people who are low carb are still utilizing old like types of insulin that kind of stay in your system in the background. And
right.
And
so they are still having insulin.
I think, again, low carb people who hate me would be stunned to know that I think what they do is cool. And
yeah, bravo.
I'm thrilled that it works for them. Like, I just don't think you should be running around yelling at everyone who doesn't do what you do. That's all.
Yeah, especially when there's little kids out there. If they want to have an ice cream, they can have an ice cream.
Well, I mean, it's up to them and their parents, that's for sure. Not a guy online who gets to yell at them about it for some reason and call me a bad guy in between. I've had it happen. What I've learned, and I hope you take from this conversation, is that I also see all the people who are helped by the thing that I make. And I focus on them. That's all.
Yeah. It's Larry David. He said that he can have like 100 nice comments and then he will focus on that mean one. It's just because we're not used to it. In real life, people don't go up to you and say, I hate you.
Oh, in your life, they don't do that? No, you're right. Nobody does that in real life.
I'd have a meltdown. And then daily I get it online. I'm like, oh. I'm such an easy, like, my content is so like, it's just like memes and me joking around. So I don't know how, like a video of my boyfriend drinking Diet Coke to prove that it's Diet Coke. That for some reason got 100 horrible comments. I'm like, what is wrong with that?
And then people fly in and they're like, if you just would eat one carb a day or drink cinnamon water.
They're saying I can't even have Diet Coke. I can only drink water. What, for 14 years?
You can't have, why can't you have Diet Coke? What'd they say?
Oh, I don't know. Aspartame. I'm sure that it's not great for you, but you know, you only live once.
Listen, I do a fair amount of public speaking. And there's no doubt that if you look out into the sea of people and someone seems like they got a face, like they're sour, you're suddenly, you start performing for that one person. Like you start thinking like, if I can get that guy to like me, then everything's going to be okay now.
Absolutely. I
guess the secret is that I pick a couple of people in the audience in different locations and I only talk, I'm basically in my mind, I'm talking to them.
It's a great advice.
Yeah. So you just you find a smiling person in the center, you find a smiling person on the right, a laughing person on the left, and then you go, okay, happy people, and they think I'm funny. This is awesome. How does it work when you're acting or doing any kind of work where you're being recorded or you're in real time and your blood sugar gets funky? Like you must keep it a little higher to work, no?
Yeah. I would keep going if I was like going low, but not low. So if I was 4, I'd probably keep it going for another 10 minutes. And then if I was below 4, I would treat it. I would just say, it's happened on stage before and I had to get through it. And then I rushed off and I always keep Dextro tablets on the side. And yeah, it's definitely important to always have something there.
But you've never like hit a trolley in the middle of Macbeth or something like that?
No.
No.
I think it has happened on stage, yeah, with Macbeth. And I just had to get through the scene. Because obviously you feel, when I'm hypo, I feel drunk. So I was just like, just say the words and get off. Probably not my best performance.
My daughter has this like spot. She doesn't get low like this, actually, almost at all, but very often. But you can get her into that place where if she's falling through the 70s into the 60s, which is, let's see, if she's falling through that space, like let's say she's going under, sorry, I'm doing the thing for you. Let's say she's going under 3.9.
Right.
And she's heading down in that way. If you're like, hey, your blood sugar's falling, you should do something before it gets out of hand. If it keeps falling, she can get into that place where she's like the vibe from her is almost like free and easy, like, whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if I die, I die. It's okay. Like it almost hits that. Is that the drunk feeling or is that something different?
Sometimes for me, it's like when you're tired, when you're really tired, you're just like, oh, it'll hopefully just fade away and I'll be okay. But, and also 3.9, you're not dangerously low. So you're like, maybe it'll go up.
Oh, and so that thing happens where you think like, maybe I can not do something about this.
Yeah, but I definitely recommend doing something about it. But I think it's part of the burnout probably for having it so long.
I was talking to Erica. Erica's a therapist who has type 1 who comes on the show a lot. I was talking to her about a little bit of the frustration I have sometimes when my daughter like rides her pump down to like the last drop of insulin.
I do that.
And Erica goes, she starts laughing. She goes, I do that. And I was like, oh, okay. Maybe that's just the thing. You know,
I want to waste it.
For Arden, she's just trying to put off the change as long as possible. Like she doesn't have any trouble doing it once it's done, but she's like, hey, the thing's working and it still has insulin in it. I'm not changing it yet.
What is she on, insulin pump wise?
Omnipod.
Ah.
Yeah. So she just rides it to the like end. But she'll do that, like she does the math where she's like, oh, this will make it till tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. And I'm like, just change. It's like midnight. You know, she's like, I'm like, just change it now. Like, she's like, no, it's going to make it. I'm like, oh.
Does she make content?
She doesn't. I mean, she's got like a personal little thing. She was for a couple of years in school learning how to create clothing at fashion school. And she was making content then just because she felt like she had to. But she pivoted away from it. And so she hasn't been doing that for a while. But she's got insane style, my daughter.
Amazing. One day she can work with Lila Moss, Kate Moss's daughter.
I think that would be lovely, except she doesn't appear to love the sewing part of making clothing. So that kind of threw her off a little bit. But she has, I'll send you, you can find her. And she's got, she always has too, by the way, like since she was little. Like she's picked out her own clothing and put things together that you would just never, like no one would think to put together. So that makes me wonder, have you been like theatrical your whole life?
Yeah, always. I've never wanted to do anything else. I'm not good at anything else.
You must be good at something else.
No, I can't. If I'm not amazing at something, I don't want to do it.
Interesting. Because why? Because it's hard or because it's not fun?
Because I'm not the best and it'll take years. I've been an actor. This sounds ridiculous, but I was on stage when I was 2.
Ruby, are you type A? Are you all like, I gotta be best?
Yeah, but I'm a little bit, I think so, maybe. I am type A.
Does it come with any anxiety?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Do you know that I have a theory that a lot of people who have autoimmune issues have anxiety as well?
Yeah, it's always there in the back of your mind. That's why, probably.
I think it's got something to do with like inflammation.
Really?
I mean, again, I'm a guy making a podcast, so I, like you said earlier, I wouldn't listen to me. I feel like it's not classified as autoimmune. Like, don't get me wrong, right? It's classified as a mental health condition, anxiety, and everything else. But a lot of people with type 1 come on and talk about anxiety.
I had it so bad yesterday in London, Oxford Street, and it was just so busy. And I just wanted to go into a corner and just scream.
So you're out on the street and it just hits you? Tell me about it.
Yeah, it was just because it was so busy. I don't know if you've seen the videos online, but people are stealing phones constantly. And I was lost and I needed to get to Soho. So I needed to go on my phone. I was scared because if somebody stole my phone, I would be... Oh. Can I say the F word?
Yeah, go ahead. Please say it in that lovely accent.
I would be fucked because imagine someone nicking my phone on the street and no way to get home and no way to pay for anything because I don't have a physical debit card, because we're living in a digital age, and my insulin pump and it needs to be connected to my phone.
Yeah, it's not just your life is literally that phone.
Literally on my phone.
Right.
So I just had like an anxiety attack in the corner. It was so busy. I've definitely got ADHD, but I think I might have some other traits as well. I need to get diagnosed.
I believe you and my daughter would get along very well. So you're out and about. You need to get somewhere. You don't know where it's at. You think, well, I can figure it out with my phone, but people are stealing phones. I can't take my phone out because my phone is how I take care of my life, and I can't pay for anything. And what if I get low and I don't have my phone, and I don't even know if I'm low, and I don't have a way to pay for it, and that just like snowballs.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was just so busy, and everywhere you were walking, you were bumping into someone. It was like awful.
No.
Oxford Street at Christmas, don't do it.
How do you get through it?
What, anxiety?
Yeah, well, that moment yesterday, what did you do to did it just pass? Did you bump into Soho by mistake? Like, what happened?
It didn't pass. I just needed to get out of there. And when it was a quieter street, it was much better.
So literally getting off of that street helped you?
Yeah. I was overstimulated completely. I knew I was meeting with a friend. As soon as I was with a friend, I was okay. I was still a little bit hyper aware, but as soon as I met my friend, I felt like the load had lessened a bit. And if my phone got stolen, then he'd help me with other things.
Oh, no kidding. Like that's and this has been your whole life?
Yeah, but I do feel like it's gotten worse since COVID.
Okay.
Like maybe we all got adapted to staying in all the time, and then I started going out and I was freaking out. I couldn't even go to Tesco's.
Wait, what is that?
Like Walmart.
Okay. Let's dig into that for a second, because I've been really interested in this lately, because over here, the social media news is that there are drones flying in the sky, and there are theories all over the place about Russian nuclear waste, dirty bombs, and there's warheads, and people and it's social media, it just is, people take videos of stuff.
I'm more worried about your TikTok.
Well, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Social media, TikTok, Instagram, both of my children have come up to me in the last week and said, "Hey, are we going to blow up?" And I'm like, maybe you guys should get rid of it. That's what I'm saying, because I haven't once thought this week, I wonder if I'm going to blow up. Don't get me wrong. I think there are things happening in the world that I'm unaware of, right? I'm not saying I'm not like a head in the sand person. I understand that governments lie, and, there's things happening that I don't know. I also think that everybody online who's trying to get clicks and likes because it generates money for them, or hopefully a brand will come to them and pay them to say something, and they're trying to build their channels up, they see stuff like this out in the world, and then they'll do almost anything to amplify their signal and use this as an example. But I've noticed that younger people don't know how to separate those ideas. Yes, there's something going on in the world, but that guy right there is just showing me a fuzzy picture of Christmas lights and saying it's a drone. You know what I mean?
I see what you mean, because, some people do believe everything they see online, but at the same time, I think TikTok's amazing, and I think that they give you resources and videos and news that you don't necessarily get on your own news outlet, which is why Americans are banning TikTok, right?
Well, it came up again. It's never going to happen.
It's scary.
I don't talk about a lot of political stuff, but if they're going to ban TikTok, the reasons that they're looking at TikTok, those reasons exist with Facebook and Instagram and every other thing else. So I know what they're trying to say. They're trying to say because it's a Chinese-owned company, and that's the road they're going down politically. I mean, TikTok is not doing anything with your... I'm going to stop myself because I'm not sure that that's true. Facebook is doing the same things that TikTok's doing with your data.
I'm not that interested though. What happens?
Well, people say that all the time. You're not interested, but that's not... I don't think that's how they... I don't know.
Well, what if they get all my information? I'm like, what information do you want? Selfies? I'm not that important. They don't care about me.
Ruby's like, as long as I can see my blood sugar, I honestly don't care about anything else.
Yeah, with TikTok as well, you can't post misinformation. So I posted a video once talking about a cure for diabetes. Somebody said, "Why don't you just cure it, stupid?" And I did a video back going, "Oh my God, I had no idea. Wow."
Thank God.
Sarcastic one.
Yeah, the sarcasm didn't play through.
The sarcasm didn't play through, and it got taken down for misinformation.
Yeah. I actually just had one of these conversations in my Facebook group, because inevitably laboratories who are doing research, they need funding. So they put out news of the things that are going right for them. And then somebody says, "Oh my God, look, there's a Chinese," literally this one was, there's a lady in China, and she doesn't have type 1 anymore, and they cured her with stem cells or something like that.
Right.
And so that story gets around, and then everyone starts talking about it, which is great. I'm glad people talk about stuff. But then eventually you're going to get 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There's already a cure. We don't have it. They're hiding it from us. There's more money in keeping us sick than there is in helping us. Like that whole thing starts. And I mean, on that point, yes, there's greed in the world, but that same greed will lead somebody to say, hey, I've got the cure for something here. I'm going to go make a bunch of money off of it. Like, I think people are confusing the idea with the cure being readily available and free in America. Trust me, if a greedy person has the cure for type 1 diabetes and wants to go charge like $5 million for it somewhere, there's got to be 5 or 6 billionaires who have type 1 in their family. You know what I mean? They're going to sell it somehow. Like, it's not necessarily going to be like, a thing at Walmart that you buy off the shelf and like inject on your way out the door and you don't have diabetes anymore. And I just think that people get so caught up in that, like the worry that they're being screwed. I don't believe in humanity enough to believe that they have a cure for something yet. Like, my example online is that people can't make a left turn without confusion. They can't walk through a supermarket without bumping into somebody. Like, I don't think they cured diabetes. And I definitely think that if there was a cure, that people couldn't keep their mouth shut. You know what I mean? Like, somebody would open up their... Don't you think somebody'd blow the whistle on that if that existed?
I don't know. It's a lot to think about.
It is, Ruby.
I don't have the resources or the information.
Well, and listen, I don't either, and neither do the people online. So my point to them was, I would stop torturing yourself believing that this thing exists and it's being kept from you. Live your life. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Anyway, I think social media makes people paranoid sometimes.
Yeah. Definitely.
That's all. But you don't think you're younger. Like, it definitely, like you said something a second ago that if I would have said when I was 27, my dad would have like gasped and fell over. What are you going to do with my data? My father would have talked to you about personal privacy and for an hour and how important your privacy is. And like, but you're just like, whatever, who cares?
Because I'm not important. Like, nobody wants to, if I got a picture of me sitting on the toilet by accident?
Would there be a snake in the toilet by any chance?
No, but like, I don't have anything like interesting or anything anyone can blackmail me with.
Not yet.
I don't even have that much money.
Ruby, I just want you to know that I believe that at some point around your sister's wedding, you are going to reach down to open a toilet seat, pause, and think, oh, that fucking Scott put this in my head that there's a toilet in here.
There won't even be toilet seats there. We'll be going in the bush.
You're just going to be like, you son of a bitch, why did you put this in my head?
No. I'll be like, my insulin pump must have fallen out. What's that?
How are you going to handle, like, how long's the flight to Australia?
Don't know. I've never been. I think it's like 24 hours or something. I think it might be longer than that.
How do you do flying? How does your blood sugar act?
I'm okay. I've not done a flight that long with a pump.
Yeah.
Nervous. I'll have to make sure I overpack just in case. I always overpack because you'd rather have more than less if you go away. Oh, I'm nervous. But we get an extra bag on board, right?
Yeah. No, you just have to bring enough insulin and supplies in case something goes wrong. But there's other stuff to look into. Like, sometimes with the air pressure,
right,
it can like force a little insulin through the tubing. So sometimes people get low because they get a little extra insulin.
I did go low. Yeah. When I went to Madrid.
Also, people tend to get low at the baggage claim afterwards. Like, and it's got something to do with the air pressure. I honestly, I think I have an episode on it, but I'm just not remembering it right now.
Interesting. And obviously you're running around at the airport and you're stressed and things like that. So that'll affect you too.
Yeah. Some people find themselves a little more resistant in the air. And then the idea is they bolus, and then they land. The pressure changes. Sometimes people are stressed by flying and they don't realize that changes. Then they start running around the airport with all that extra insulin on board.
We can't get away with anything, diabetics.
That sucks, right? Like, it really does. How often do you think about your diabetes?
With an insulin pump, so much less, and I'm so grateful for it. I only went on it this year. Before that, I used to think about it all the time. But now it's so much less, which is amazing.
Awesome. What do you attribute your improvement in A1C to? What did you do differently?
Just thinking about it more, and I learned about the complications which scared me. And we've all been triggered and scared about the complications with eye health and things like that. And you get people saying, oh, my grandma lost her foot from diabetes and things like that. They scare the life out of you when you're a child. You don't want to hear things like that. So yeah, I just started really taking care of myself. And it doesn't matter about your past. You can't change the past. You can only change the now and the moving forward.
Yeah, I agree. I tell people that all the time. Like, now, like, don't spend any time beating yourself up about before. But
yeah,
why do you think you didn't know? What educated you recently, and why was that not information that you had when you were younger?
I knew about the complications, but I kind of forced it out in my mind. I was like, oh, what will happen to me? Even though I didn't look after myself when I was young. Well, I did in a way, but I heard that some people just took their insulin pumps out and didn't inject at all. But I did to some extent, but I'm nowhere near as healthy as I am now.
Your mom not involved when you were younger, or dad?
She was very helpful. There were just things I didn't know, like I used to inject after I ate, and I only started bolusing before I eat now.
Wow.
I'm thinking about.
Where did you learn about pre-bolusing?
That was Ryan Taylor.
Really?
Yeah.
Like knowing him personally or watching his videos?
Both. I think knowing him personally, the first time I met him, he told me that. Yeah.
It's awesome. I have to tell you that of all the things that people give me credit for that stun me, it's telling them to pre-bolus their meals.
Yeah. I don't know why I wasn't told that.
No one ever explained to you like the action of the insulin and the timeline that it works on or anything like that for years.
It's mad.
Crazy.
I mean, we're learning new things all the time. Maybe when I was diagnosed, it wasn't as talked about. Maybe they get told it now. I'm not sure.
I don't know. 14 years ago, they knew. Arden's had diabetes since she was 2 and she's 20. So she's had diabetes for 18. Yeah. I mean, that's not a new idea. It's just a thing that people just like doctors don't talk about it.
Yeah.
By the way, I've had a lot of people go through that Daphne program and tell me that it was really valuable for them.
It was really valuable. Yeah.
Yeah. But nobody mentioned that there.
No, I asked that question there and they did tell me. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I did that quite recently.
Oh,
I
I'm
had to
sorry.
switch to the pump. Yeah.
Oh, Ruby, I'm sorry. The Daphne course you took very recently.
Yeah. Because I had to do it before the insulin pump.
Oh, I see. What pump did you get?
Medtronic.
The 780G?
Yes.
And you're in automation. How do you like it?
I love it.
Yeah.
It's so good.
That's awesome. That really is awesome. I hear, and you're in Europe. Are you using their new CGM, the little round one?
You know what? I just switched 2 days ago.
Did you really?
Yeah. It's so much easier because the other one was great, but I just struggled to put it on because I felt like I needed my partner to help me. But with this, it's, kind of similar to the Libra in a way because you just one step application.
Yeah. How are you finding the accuracy?
It's perfect. The first time I put it on, I was a little bit up and down because every time I change my sensor and I have to wait in that 2-hour warm-up period, I don't know what I am and I usually go high. So I was a little bit high to begin with and it was getting used to it all over again. But now I'm absolutely fine.
That's awesome.
And it looks great too. It's so small.
It is tiny. It's in your picture of you that I'm looking at now, yes? Or is that a Libre?
That's a Libra. That's from a few years ago.
Oh, that's from a few years ago. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I can't believe you just switched. That's awesome. They're sponsors of the podcast. So.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah. Medtronic's got that system has been overseas for me for a while now. I've been hearing people telling me overseas about how great it is. It just didn't catch on here as quickly. And so trying to get the word out about it for people as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Are you a citizen or like how do you pay for your supplies?
So we have the NHS, so I get it all through the NHS, luckily.
It's crazy. And it's free.
Yeah, but when we get paid for work, money comes out of your taxes for things like that. So I get, in a way, it's free. I don't know if I've explained that well. If British people are watching, help. Yeah, so in a way, it's free. It kind of comes out of your paycheck, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Oh, listen, Ruby, I pay taxes, and then my healthcare is not free after that. So yeah, that's okay.
It's so unfair that you have to pay to.
Do you think so?
Have a medical condition. I do. You don't choose diabetes, do you?
No, but this is I think this is an interesting question. I might not. I'm going to play devil's advocate for a second. What should I pay for? Like, what shouldn't be free?
Like luxuries? No, I think like living should be free.
Food I should pay for or no?
No, because that's food. That's been you've had to pay for that for thousands of years.
Okay.
But diabetes, you would have been dead in a few years, unfortunately, thousands of years ago.
So if I have a heart issue, my heart medication should be free?
Yeah, absolutely. That's my opinion.
I might want to live in your place better.
Why should you have to pay for it? Because if somebody else has a healthy heart.
Yeah. I mean, I hear you. But
yeah.
All right. I'm not arguing with you. I'm just saying I'm just trying to get your worldview. All right. So cool. So like if I let's really dig into this. I get a hangnail and I gotta buy a pail of nail clippers to clip my nails. Should that be free?
No, because if you don't do it, you're not going to die.
Okay. So if I'm going to die and I need to be medicated or get a device, that should be free.
Do you think that you should have to pay? Because diabetes is a disability as of the Equality Act 2010 in the UK and Ireland. So it's a disability. So do you think you should pay to be disabled? Let me spin that question on you, Scott.
No, I'm going to answer you. I'm trying to decide who pays for all this if everything's free.
I think the NHS is a great idea, and there are ups and downs, but I think it's great at the moment. But you kind of pay your way, and then if you need to go to hospital, things like you never know what's going to happen.
Right. So these things are paid for through taxes.
Yeah.
What would happen, again, just devil's advocate, all you with diabetes, don't get mad at me for a second. My kid has it too. I would like free insulin. Relax. What would happen if the tax burden went up to, I don't know, 80%? So every dollar I make, I lose 80 cents of it, but everything's free. But it's not, because food still costs money and housing and those sorts of things. And then wouldn't a person who doesn't have diabetes or doesn't have a heart issue, I know they don't understand, those people generally aren't going to understand until they're sick, the impact of it. But don't you think they're going to raise a red flag and say, why do I have to pay for your diabetes?
No, because they're not paying for your diabetes. They're paying for their healthcare too. So, for example, if my boyfriend breaks his leg and needs to go to the hospital and needs to get a cast, then he'll get it for free too.
Yeah, but you don't break your leg every week.
Yeah, but you never know. Everybody goes to the hospital at one point in their life.
When
you're born, when you die.
I'm saying I like your vision. I don't think it's as easy as it sounds.
I mean, for me, I'm like, it's not about us at the end of the day. It's not about me. Mm-hmm. It's about, let's put it into the shoes of little kids, right?
Yeah.
2 little girls, age 8. One's got diabetes, one doesn't. So how much in America are you paying for diabetes every month?
It depends on your insurance. A lot of it depends on how much your insurance covers. So I'll explain back to you that I raised a family with 2 children. So 4 people in a family. Mm-hmm. And currently I'm still insuring all of them for health insurance. They're still young enough to stay on my insurance. I believe that I pay between $7,000 and $8,000 a year just to have the insurance.
Okay.
Then there are deductibles that I have to pay out before the insurance starts to cover at 80%. My rough guess is that it costs me, if nobody has anything tragic happen, it costs me and my wife about $10,000, $11,000 a year to have health insurance and to cover everybody. So
I can't speak for, I don't know enough about it, American health insurance. I can't speak about it, but I do think here we've got it pretty good.
Yeah. No, also, and in fairness, and I don't know, I'm sure you can make an argument for scaling, but your country is the size of one of our smaller states, isn't it?
Yeah. Wales is tiny.
Is it really teeny tiny?
Yeah. I can't think of a state that's the same size as it. I'm sure there's one. What's the smallest state?
I'm going to find out how many people live in Wales. And I know it doesn't have an H in it like the animal.
Probably 1 million. Okay.
Estimated population of Wales in 2023 was 3,164,000.
Wow.
Yeah. It's a lot of people. What U.S. state is it sized like? Sized like is not English, but it's going to work.
It makes sense to me.
It's going to work.
ChatGPT.
Actually, ChatGPT was like, hey, use more English. No, hold on. It said, Wales is about the size of New Jersey, the state I live in.
Oh, wow. And that's quite small? No?
22,500 square kilometers, 8,700 miles.
I could hear the New Jersey then when you said half.
Yeah. Did I listen? I'm actually from Philly originally, but it's all mixed up now. All right. So you get your stuff and you're managing well. You just made a switch because you're learning more about taking better care of yourself. Do you feel differently today than you did before you made these switches in your care?
Oh, yeah. I feel so much happier with myself and I'm proud of myself and I'm proud to be a T1D now. Whereas before I didn't even think about it.
And do you think that not thinking about it was partially defensive because you knew you weren't doing what you were supposed to be doing?
Yeah. It was a shame to be different. And now, as you said, in the world, we're all about diversity and it's great to be different and to show off representation. But at the time, I guess we weren't as inclusive back then.
Or you just weren't ready to be seen.
Maybe. But also the media as well. You never saw it talked about.
And that really does impact you, right? The things that, No, I think that's generational, by the way, too. Because I don't need to be represented somewhere. That's not a thing that I care about. Like, but I just grew up in a completely different time. So.
Yeah. You're represented enough, Scott, don't we?
You think white guys in their 50s are being well represented?
No comment.
Well, you know what? You've caught me there. Look at that. That was good. So you're saying I was being represented the whole time. I just didn't know it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. My favorite thing that's happened this week making the podcast. That was great. I just meant like me, like my little personal, like my personal idiosyncrasies, like the things.
Yeah, it's not about like representation. I don't want, to scream it from the rooftops, but it makes a child's life, for example, in Inside Out, that Disney film.
Sure, I've seen it.
Yeah. Like having a CGM in the background of a character. One, that's more inventive and more imaginative for creators to create. And two, if there's a little diabetic kid watching it in the audience, that's going to change their whole bloody life.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
What difference does it make sticking a sticker on a little character in the background of a film?
Well, what is going to happen then if everybody needs to be represented in Inside Out next time? It's just going to be like every character has a thing?
I mean, it'd be more interesting. Not that a thing, but like, I don't know. I'll be honest, I've not seen Inside Out.
It wasn't Inside Out that you're thinking of. I think it was.
No, it was Inside Out 2. But
yes.
There's another one called Turning Red, which I have seen.
Yes, with the red panda.
Yeah.
Yes, and the kid's wearing a CGM in that, right?
Yeah. And it's only like in the background for like 2 seconds, but I think it's a great idea.
No, it's lovely. It really is.
Yeah.
Have we not talked about anything that you wanted to talk about? I want to make sure I don't miss anything for you.
No, it's been fun. I think I've spoken about everything.
Yeah? Did you actually have a good time, or are you just like, I'm getting through this because...
No, I did. It was interesting because I didn't know what was going to come. I was like, oh, what are we going to talk about? So it's nice and natural conversation, which was nice.
Oh, awesome. Did you feel anxious when we started?
Maybe when I spoke about myself and I messed up how many years I've had diabetes.
I've had diabetes for 4 years. You were like, wait, no, that's not right.
Yeah.
You're not the first person to do that, Ruby. Don't worry. I just have a question about doing voiceover work. So like you have an agent, I imagine.
Yeah. Is this recorded or is this for your own personal gain?
No, this is recorded. I think people would find this interesting. Here's what I think people would find interesting. You're a 27-year-old living, breathing person who acts and does voiceover work. And I'm assuming you're paying for yourself to stay alive. Is that right?
What do you mean?
I mean, like you can afford your bills.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, so you're making a living doing this. I just think it's interesting and not a way that most people know about making a living. So like, do you go into a studio to do this? Is it done in your home? How do you do it?
A bit of both. At the moment, I'm doing a lot of stuff from home. But yeah, you just audition for things and then it comes through and then you get it, hopefully.
What do you give them? Like a ton of different reads and they choose?
With auditions, I usually just send 2.
No kidding. And then, and so you cut something, send it back to them. And do they give you notes and ask you to recut it or like?
No, unless they want you and they want you to try a different part or something like that. Most of the time, you don't even get a rejection. It's harsh right now.
Oh, you just apply and you'd never even hear back.
Sometimes, yeah.
That's how looking for work here is, by the way, too.
Yeah.
My son spent 9 months looking for a job and he's like, by the time, and he's got one now and it's, going really well and everything. But like, he's like that. I don't know. I might have applied for 500 jobs online. And he's like, and you do not hear back from 98% of them at all.
Yeah.
And then,
it's hard.
Yeah, that's crazy. Do you live with this person who you're partnered with now?
Yes. Yeah.
Was there any adjustment there with diabetes stuff, or had you been together long enough that it all just kind of blended together nicely?
Yeah, it blended together nicely. As long as I've got my shelf on the fridge, we're good. And my cupboards. He doesn't need much, but we do fight over wardrobe space.
You fight over water?
No, wardrobe space.
Oh, wardrobes. Oh.
Yeah.
Is he a handsome boy?
Yeah. He's an Italian stallion.
Ruby, I might call your episode Italian Stallion.
Oh my God. Why is everything I do about him? You'll love that. You'll be like, yes.
I was also thinking of calling it Where is Soho? Oh, this is interesting. Like my wife does not have this problem. I barely take up any space for my clothing in the house at all. Well, I guess it's nice. Is it weird? Do other girls look at him? Is that strange?
I think I'd be offended if they didn't. I'd be like, oh, is he ugly? No, I'm joking. I don't know. I didn't really notice. We got stared a lot in Disney this year, and I got recognized for the first time ever in Disney, which was amazing.
No kidding.
Yeah, by a little diabetic girl, and she was lovely with her dad. But we got stared a lot in Disney, and I think that's because we had, I don't know.
Wait, you were walking around Disney, and a little girl knew you from TikTok?
Yeah.
That's insane, isn't it?
I know. And we were chatting over how we could skip all the queues. It was amazing.
Yeah. Do you know I've been recognized in public by my voice?
Really?
It's insane. Yeah,
That is cool.
I make a diabetes podcast, and people will turn
And
to
you got
me.
recognized.
It's happened so many times I've lost count, but they'll turn like shocked. Oh my God. And I'm like, hey, what's up? And they're like, you're the guy from the podcast. And I'm like, I am? Like, that's insane. That's happened a number of times. I once was in an airport. I had my headphones on and I was listening to music. I couldn't hear another thing in the world. Mm-hmm. But across the seats, and I mean, like, I know I'm going to say yards, and you're not going to know how long that is, but like 50 yards away from me, this woman stands up and she catches my eye somehow, and she's making like she's walking in a pattern, and it feels like she's walking right at me. But that's so insane to think in a room full of that many people that large. And then she ends up right in front of me. And I like take my earphones out and I'm like, hey. And she goes, you're Scott from the Juicebox Podcast.
That's amazing.
And I thought, how do you know that? You didn't hear me talk. She's just like, I recognize you from your website. I was like, oh my God, you go on my website? Like the whole thing just seems strange to me, but I liked it I'm sure it was shocking, but like I was genuinely like, I don't know, knocked over by it. Did you feel that way?
Yeah, I did. I felt fuzzy and warm inside.
Did it give you the feeling of like, hey, my channel's working? Or did it give you the feeling like, wow, people are really out there and connecting?
It was nice because a few weeks before, somebody else commented on my TikTok video saying, I think I saw you today. Were you in Warwick Castle? And I was like, yeah, that was me. So I was like, maybe I should. I was getting a bit scared, to be honest. I was like, oh no, how am I going to go to the supermarket?
Does that freak you out?
No.
No? I was at a gas station one time and a person walked up to me and was like, hi. And I'm like, hi. And she goes, Scott, right? And I was like, uh-oh.
What have I done?
But she ended up being lovely, and she's been on the show and she shared an amazing story since then. But like, there is a moment where you're like, oh my gosh, like, I guess I can't pick my nose anymore.
Don't get too big-headed.
Well, if the people that hate me see me, they're going to have a field day if I have my finger in my nose. You know what I mean? All right, Ruby, you're awesome. This is my fault we're doing this on a Saturday because I had a technical problem the other day when we tried to do this. I really appreciate you being flexible like this.
It's been amazing. Thanks. So hopefully I'll meet you one day if there's an event on.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Yeah, I think I might be going to, should I float this? Yeah, why not? I think I might be going to Friends for Life this year in Orlando this summer.
How do I get invited?
How do you get invited? Just be yourself and get invited. You can do it.
Okay.
Listen, you wear the Medtronic 670G?
Yeah.
Medtronic, fly this girl to Friends for Life and let her stand at your booth.
Orlando. I love it. Disney.
Yeah. All right. And we'll go on a roller coaster if this works out.
Let's do it.
Awesome.
Total crush.
Hold on one second. The episode you just enjoyed was sponsored by the Twiist AID System powered by Tide Pool. If you want a commercially available insulin pump with Twiist Lube that offers unmatched personalization and precision for peace of mind, you want Twiist. Twiist.com/juicebox. The conversation you just enjoyed was brought to you by US Med. usmed.com/juicebox or call 888-721-1514. Get started today and get your supplies from US Med. Having an easy-to-use and accurate blood glucose meter is just one click away. contournext.com/juicebox. That's right. Today's episode is sponsored by the Contour NextGen blood glucose meter. Thank you so much for listening. I'll be back very soon with another episode of the Juicebox Podcast. If you're not already subscribed or following the podcast in your favorite audio app like Spotify or Apple Podcasts, please do that now. Seriously, just to hit follow or subscribe will really help the show. If you go a little further in Apple Podcasts and set it up so that it downloads all new episodes, I'll be your best friend. And if you leave a 5-star review, I'll probably send you a Christmas card. Would you like a Christmas card? The Diabetes Variables series from the Juicebox Podcast goes over all the little things that affect your diabetes that you might not think about. From travel and exercise to hydration and even trampolines. Juiceboxpodcast.com. Go up in the menu and click on Diabetes Variables. The episode you just heard was professionally edited by Wrong Way Recording. WrongWayRecording.com.